So today we're really going deep.
Down the rabbit hole.
Just saying that, yeah. Into the world of David Icke and Children of the Matrix.
Oh boy.
I know, right?
The reptilian overlords, here we come.
So this one requires an open mind, and I think it's safe to say not many people are signing on to this idea completely.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
But there's a lot to unpack here, even if we don't take it all.
Sure.
Literally.
Yeah, there are
a lot of
What are we diving into today?
Well, we're diving into this book, obviously, but we're also diving into Icke's ideas about the Matrix.
Right, not the Keanu Reeves movie.
Not the Keanu Reeves movie, no. This is a different kind of matrix. This is more like a system of control.
Okay.
And how that system of control has been, kind of influencing humanity for millennia. And he thinks that system of control is run by...
the reptilian elite.
Right, the Anunnaki.
Right.
And
they're shape-shifting reptilian beings from another dimension.
Another dimension.
Okay.
So
How does
he...
A higher dimension.
A higher dimension.
A higher frequency.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how does he back this up? What evidence does he present?
He presents a lot of different types of evidence. Yeah. One of the things he does is he looks at ancient myths and texts.
Okay.
And he reinterprets those myths and texts through the lens of reptilian influence.
So, like, what kind of myths and texts?
So he looks at Sumerian tablets.
Yeah.
Egyptian mythology, the Bible even.
So he's going way back.
He's going way back.
Looking for this.
And he's finding what he believes to be evidence of these beings manipulating humanity.
Okay.
Since the beginning.
So like the Garden of Eden? Is that so?
The Garden of Eden, absolutely.
Okay.
That's a prime example for him.
Okay.
The serpent, the tree of knowledge.
Right.
It's all there.
So that's one.
It's all connected.
That's one piece of evidence he uses. What else?
He also uses a lot of anecdotal evidence.
Okay.
So he will cite accounts from people who claim to have encountered these reptilian beings.
And we're talking about people claiming to have seen
shape-shifting
beings.
These beings are influencing our world. How?
Well, they're influencing our world through these systems of control that I mentioned earlier.
So they're influencing our governments, our media, our financial institutions, our religions even.
So they're pulling the strings from behind the scenes.
They're pulling the strings, and they've been doing this
for a very long time.
Yeah. Okay. This is where it starts to get a little
out there.
Out there for me.
Yeah.
Because if these beings are so powerful,
if
they've been around for so long, why haven't they just taken over completely?
That is the million-dollar question.
Right.
And Icke has a couple of interesting explanations for that.
So these reptilians, they're puppet masters, basically.
In a sense, yeah. That's one way to look at it.
But why all the secrecy?
Well, Icke believes they need us.
Need us?
Yeah, he suggests they feed off our energy.
Our energy. Like we're some kind of...
cosmic batteries.
Yeah, something like that. He particularly points to negative energy as being potent for them.
So all the bad vibes out there, fear, anger, hatred.
Exactly.
That's what's fueling these.
That's what they thrive on, according to Icke.
Okay, hold on a second, though.
Yeah.
If they need us for energy, wouldn't they want to keep us at least a little bit happy?
Right. You'd think so.
Uh-huh.
That's where his second explanation comes in.
Okay.
It has to do with this cosmic law.
Cosmic law.
A principle of non-interference. They can influence us, manipulate us, sure, but they can't just take over completely.
So there are rules even for reptilian overlords.
Apparently so. He argues that they need our consent, even if it's given unconsciously.
Okay, so they need our permission to enslave us.
Not exactly permission, but by remaining ignorant, not questioning the system.
We're basically saying, go ahead.
Exactly. We're playing by their rules, whether we realize it or not.
So how do we opt out? How do we, cancel our subscription to the reptilian control system?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Right.
Icke stresses awareness, recognizing the illusion, and connecting with your own inner truth.
So it's about waking up.
Yeah, waking up to the reality that's right in front of us.
But what does that even look like in practical terms? I mean, am I supposed to start meditating and sending good vibes to the reptilians?
I don't think that's quite what he has in mind.
Okay, good.
He's talking about questioning everything, challenging the narratives we've been fed.
By whom?
By the media, by governments, by, anyone in a position of power.
Okay.
And trusting your gut when something feels off.
So less lizard fighting, more critical thinking.
Essentially, yeah. It's about recognizing that we have more agency than we think.
We're not just pawns in their game.
Not if we don't want to be. Icke believes we have the power to break free from these systems of control.
Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. This is a lot to process. I mean, shape-shifting reptilians controlling the world from the shadows, it's a lot.
I hear you. It's definitely a lot to unpack.
It is. And frankly, some of it just sounds
Too crazy.
a little too out there for me. Like the whole shape-shifting thing. Do we have to take that literally?
That's the beauty of Icke's work.
Mm.
He leaves a lot open to interpretation. He presents the information, the connections he's made.
Right.
But he also encourages readers to draw their own conclusions.
So maybe these reptilians aren't literal lizard people, but a metaphor for something else.
Exactly. Maybe they represent the darker aspects of human nature. The greed and the lust for power that drives so much conflict and suffering.
Or maybe they're just a bunch of stories people tell to feel like they have some inside knowledge.
That's a possibility too. We have to remember that Icke relies heavily on anecdotal evidence.
Right. People claiming to have seen these reptilians firsthand.
Exactly. And without concrete proof, it's difficult to separate fact from fiction.
So where does that leave us?
It leaves us with a lot of questions.
Yeah.
And I think that's the point.
To make us think.
To make us think, to make us question, to make us look at the world around us with fresh eyes.
Okay, I can get behind that.
I think so too.
So we've talked about these reptilians, these puppet masters.
Yeah.
But are we just puppets in all this?
That's the question, isn't it?
Eh.
And Icke would say, no, not necessarily.
Oh.
We're not just helpless victims here.
So we have some say in how this whole reptilian control thing plays out.
We do, according to Icke. He believes we all have a role to play in either perpetuating this system of control
Okay.
or breaking free from it.
So which is it? Are we helping the reptilians or hurting them?
Well, he would say that most of us are unintentionally contributing to the problem
Ow!
by not questioning, by not challenging the status quo.
So just going along with things makes us complicit.
In a way, yes.
Yeah.
We're giving our power away by not even realizing we have a choice.
So how do we take that power back? Where do we even begin?
Icke talks a lot about awareness,
Awareness, okay.
becoming aware of the systems of control that are in place and how they operate, becoming aware of the narratives we've been told.
By the media, by government.
Exactly, and then questioning those narratives.
So not just blindly accepting everything we're told.
Exactly. Think for yourself, do your own research, trust your gut.
Okay, so it's about thinking critically, being skeptical.
Exactly.
But what about the reptilians themselves? What about these shape-shifting overlords?
Well, that's where things get a little more, shall we say, open to interpretation.
You think?
I mean, are these reptilians literal beings? Are they metaphors for something else?
Right, because I'll be honest, I'm still not entirely sold on the whole lizard people thing.
And that's okay. Icke himself encourages readers to come to their own conclusions.
Okay.
The important thing is that we're asking these questions, we're challenging our assumptions, we're looking at the world with a critical eye.
So maybe the real reptilians were the friends we made along the way.
Maybe. Or maybe the real reptilians are within us.
Boy, here we go.
Our own ego, our own shadow self. You know, the darker aspects of human nature.
Okay, getting a little deep there.
Just a bit. But I think that's what makes this whole topic so fascinating. It forces us to confront these big questions about reality, about control, about the nature of good and evil.
It really makes you think.
It does. And whether or not you agree with all of Icke's conclusions.
Right.
He definitely gets you thinking.
Well, he got us thinking, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And that wraps up our deep dive into the world of David Icke and Children of the Matrix.
Until next time.
Keep those tinfoil hats handy. And remember, sometimes the truth is strangers in fiction, or is it?